Hello everybody, it's Shouting Fox here, and welcome to a different type of video. Today I kind of compiled together a bunch of games I've played this year and put them into a top 10 list. The only reason we're showing Warframe footage is because I needed some honorable mentions to get around the first part that I have, which is... We have a few games that I've played this year. I've put them all into a list. And I am here to share with everyone the games that have stand out to me this year. Rules for this stupid little video. That I had to actually make rules, and this is not all scripted, as everyone can tell. But, shit, that's the wrong side. Rules I have is that I have to have played it this year. Doesn't have to be for the first time I have played it. And I had to have finished the game, gone from point A to point B. So, to put us all onto the same ground, the list of games that I have played this year is a small list of... If I get the slide on my phone... we have Cheetahs Are Meant to Be Fast, Neon White, Bubble Beast Dungeon, Mr. Pompey's Extravagant Quiz, Dawn of Corruption, Pineapple on Pizza, Healthcare Denial Claimer, Five Nights Phrase 1 to Sister Location, Steel Century Groove Midnight, Sonic Adventure DX, Komodo Coliseum, Playtime with Percy, Dreams of Aether, Gretel and Hansel Part 1, Sonic the Hedgehog Episode 4, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1, I can't speak, Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4, put them separate because they felt like two different games, despite being the same game, Ungod, Go-Go Jump, Relentless Impetus, Grounded, South Park Stick of Truth, Sonic Heroes, Sonic Racing Crossworld, Friday Night Funkin' versus Retrospecter, and Knights College 2. And now with that all out of the way, let's get with the first part of being the honorable mentions. Of course, in front of you, one of the honorable mentions is Warframe. A friend recommended this to me after we were playing a shit ton of Monster Hunter, and I actually liked it. The frame we have in front of you is one that was gifted by another friend who wanted me to play the game. I thank them for it, because this has been my favorite frame so far, and I have two of them. Other games on our honorable mention lists are... basically, the honorable mentions and dishonorable mentions are games I've played but not finished. We've got Haste on this list. Fast-paced game by Landfall Games that I got on Landfall Day. Sandal Folk, a kind of like CRPG that you play on your phone, which has been fun with the two other friends that we played. They should not have given me the ability to name shit. Dragon Detective, Friend from the Shadows, which is a fun game that I've not played, but I have the soundtrack for, and I've been listening to the soundtrack non-stop. And Planet Centauri, a creature collector-like survival game. I've been forcing one of my friends to play it, so that's why it's on the list. When that gets finished, I will make a video about it, because it is kind of fun. It doesn't hold your hand, it just plops you in the world, just like Minecraft. It says, go. Which not a lot of games do at the moment, and I have been finding games that just plop you into nowhere more fun than games that give you an actual tutorial. Because a lot of times, a lot of tutorials just give you a basic rundown and hope that you understand it. But the tutorials of Minecraft is that it just gives you the ability to open the thing and you then figure out the controls from there. Which I find fun. Next on the list, we have the dishonorable mentions. There are only 3 on here. We've got Go-Go Jump, a game I completed and then refunded within the 2 hours of playing it. I fucking hated it. Carnal Instinct, an 18-plus game that got circulation this year because someone tricked Power Cynical into looking into a Steam page for it. And on this list, underneath all of it, is Freddy Fazbear. Anyway, next on the list for our top 10 is Pineapple on Pizza. This is just peak comedy. There's nothing about it, it's just peak comedy. You walk around an island, you look at stuff, and go, ooh, that's funny. And then something happens. I'm not gonna tell you what happens, something just happens. You just have to believe me that it does happen. But this game was fucking hilarious. It's the funniest thing I've seen all year. And I 100%'d it. That is exactly what happened. Me and a friend were at 3 AM, played this game, and it was funny as hell. And back to Fazbear Simulator, that game was fucking bullshit. I didn't get past night 2. I tried going for the full ending, and when a game doesn't give you anything to tell if you're doing good or not, it's not good game design. Good game design for something for FNAF is that if you complete the thing, and it gives you an indication that you did the thing, then that's good game design for something that you need to survive from. However, with FNAF Pizza Sim, it doesn't give you that. And carrying on from the whole FNAF shit, currently we have on the screen is On Guard, a Souls-like game where instead of the whole rolling around and beating up horrifying monsters, you're against the local army. And as you can see from the gameplay, instead of just being here's the timings and keep pushing to the ground, it's more about you have all these elaborate arenas filled to the brim with boxes, barrels, and just anything that you can use, and you're just allowed to use them. I spent the better part of 30 minutes while playing the game. Instead of just running in and trying to kill the boss, like in most Souls-like games, I spent the entire time going, okay, so here's a bunch of things I could throw. I'm going to throw these and then take them out one by one. You're not meant to take them all in a horde. You're supposed to take on the one you see in front of you, take it out, and then move on to the next target. Mostly about either parrying or spinning around your opponent. Which, honestly, it was fun. Instead of just fighting the opponent as if it was a spreadsheet of tap, tap, dodge into the iframe, it was, how many times can I hit this before I have to actually go into defensive mode and actually block and roll around them? And what is in my area that I can throw at them. Which, to be honest, the throwing shit into people was the funnest part about this game. And it also led me into getting one rare achievement for us, which was listened to the Big Bad's Evil Speech. Which, to be honest, I was just bored and I was listening to it. I didn't think I'd get an achievement out of it, I just wanted to know what would happen. And so, yeah. Not much to say about On Guard other than please go play it. It is a fun game. For the price of what you actually get a lot more than I think it is. If I can't check what the price is at the moment because this game was I got this during the Steam summer sale, and a lot of games in the Steam summer sale, as many people know, it went into and went out of it, just going, ah shit, there we go. But outside that, the game was fun. The mode I'm showing here is the arena mode, where like it's basically the roguelike mode where you just go into 3 arenas and you get to pick a power, and once you complete the power in the thing, it gives you a bonus. Also, the enemies have a bonus against you, so you gotta fight them with the disadvantage that they give you, they gotta fight you with the disadvantage that you got. And before I played this for this recording, I hadn't played it since the summer, and it took a little while to get used to the controls again, but after I got back to the controls, as you can see here, I was actually flowing through in and out of combat and just playing around my opponent as if it was my meal to fight. Which, to be honest, a lot of games that I've played with this sort of style, there is not a lot of times where I could say, oh, I went back into the game and I enjoyed it despite not knowing the controls again. But this one, I actually enjoyed going back and replaying this bit. This was more fun than I actually give most games credit for. That's just because whenever I play a game, I play it and then discard it, saying, "Oh, that was fun," which I should honestly stop doing because there are a lot of games that I wish I could go back and play before just going back and playing Sonic Riders for the 13th time and going, "Haha, I'm God." I don't. I honestly don't remember how long I did for this video. Fucking clip for this, and I'm honestly scared to go right enough to into the next clip because who knows. I honestly should have just wrote down time limits onto my phone and just did it that way, but here we are for what we got in front of you. I am bad at selling games, so just showing people the top 10 games I had and then talking to them whilst I have a video in the background was the easiest way for me to do this, instead of just recording footage for the game, me explaining the game whilst playing the footage. And then stop trying after like 2 minutes. Which is something that I should stop doing, but personality is a myth, and we all do whatever we can. That guy there, I couldn't actually get up to, so I just had to figure out how to actually get up to him. It was after a few minutes of fighting, I went, where is the next thing I could throw? And had to throw that up to the guy to kill him. It turns out there was a gunpowder line below him, and I used that to kill him. Because if you kick those burners, they got gunpowder trails out below them. If you can, of course, the enemies that go near them, they get exploded by whatever's at the end. Which can lead into the whole, as I've got here, the swashbuckling side of this combat system. It makes you feel a lot more like, fucking Puss in Boots from Shrek, or whichever film you feel like you should associate to it. It's more that combat instead of just the knight's honor of fighting head-on and killing them. And after that, we've got the FNAF fan game-ish? Honestly, I don't know where the state of this game is in at the moment, but this is Playtime with Percy. This footage was taken on the 5-all hour of the game, so I just decided to do that. It took me a little time to get used to the controls again, because I haven't played this. So I think this was near the top of my list? No, it's near the middle. That would have been around springtime this year. Yeah. Which, honestly, I played the game, and actually found it surprisingly fun for the thing it was. It's one of those sit and survive games, like the FNAF style games. Except instead of just defending the office and surviving from 12 to 6 a.m., you have this little Tamagotchi you can see on the screen. And you have to play it and complete, I think, like 30, 35 tasks on it. And once you complete all the tasks, the night just ends. So the whole loop of the game is to play the little thing as many times as you can, as fast as possible, and then switch into defending the office. Things you gotta look out for is the moose, which to be honest, I'm not gonna remember the fucking name. So you have the moose, which is if it appears in your office through either vent, you gotta play on your little device and be a little iPad kid. I can see here with the cat, when it appears, you gotta pull down anything you're looking at and look at him as if you're not an iPad kid. Then you got Percy, the big poodle guy, the big dog. He'll appear in the glass behind, at the back, going from left to right. And once he's at the door, he'll start banging on it. You just gotta hold it. The farmer that keeps walking from right to left, all you gotta do is play a little Simon Says game with him, with the little thing at the top left that says yellow. You gotta match the color of his eyes, and to be honest, out of all the things in there, other than the look in the camera, find the mechanic, which is it's the only one that makes me go, ah shit, fuck off, and pull it back up. Then you got the little poodles. One of them is that it will appear and never even fucking encountered it during my entire game. It'll just go, I'm here, and you gotta play on the thing once, and it fucks off. Or there's the poodle that opens up the door, and if you don't deal with it enough, it'll just open the door so Percy can walk in and kill you. And there's nothing you can do after that once the door's open. No like, oh shit, I fucked up. And then there's the one that appears on the cameras, and you gotta go and find it. You gotta drop everything, find it, and stop. Which enables the rat to go after shit, because if you don't find it and stop it, it disables your cameras permanently. And if you let the rat exist for too long, then it kills you by jumping it through your trash can. And that, as you can see, was just 3 minutes and done. It was a fun game. And fucking number 7 on my list was South Park: The Stick of Truth. And this one is a bit of an iffy one, because the requirement to beat this one was for me to beat all 4 classes in the game. And it took me a while to beat the game, because there were just times where I just couldn't be bothered. I then just beat the last 2, because I was just thinking of a theme for each of them. Obviously, the first run I did was the mage class. That was a bit of fun, didn't feel too bad about it. I then did, afterwards, the fucking... the rogue class, that was it. And I broke the game into the point where I could just spam the ultimate move and have Butters heal me up every time. That was a run where I just made sure my ally did not die. That was the whole point of the plan. I went through all that and I did it. I then did a fighter run where I was David Hasselhoff. And then I beat the game as a Jew. I'm not kidding, there's a Jew class in this game. If you've not heard about it, look up this game or play the game. It's honestly kind of fun. I prefer this gameplay style over the next, over a Fractured Butthole. And kind of, I'm looking forward to when they decide to make the next one, which I've heard is going to be like The Game Ruined King by Riot Forge. R.I.P. But yeah, this game was kind of fun and interesting, and it's one of the things that makes me say I am never recording this game fully ever again. This shit is not easy for me if I ever go through the process of doing that, because there's going to be heavy, and I mean heavy censorship. As a joke, I wanted to go find the censored version of the game where every sex scene in the game is replaced with a koala. And just the words, unfortunately, this is banned in your country. I wanted to go find that. I couldn't find it. Because I live in the UK. Sucks. Which, by the way, UK Safety Act? I can still search this game's listing on Steam. And both games have a sex scene. Both games have full nudity on it. It is not hidden. So... you know, fuck you, I guess. But it was just a fun little game by Obsidian. I kind of hope that they go back to Obsidian for the next one. But, shit, there's not much left to say about this game, so I'm just hoping it cuts out at some point. So just enjoy the gameplay footage we have of me getting my ass kicked by 2 little shits. Oh yeah, I forgot about those. I forget to actually turn off the Steam Do Not Disturb sometimes, so there are times where my friends list just appears. What else about this game before we suddenly get going to number 6? Every time I played this game, I changed up the playstyle, so it's at least different for each one. Oh yeah. Because of where I am in Chapter 3 and 4, I could not film footage for this, so we got the Otsu version. But in number 6 on my list, we have Chapter Rooms 3 and 4. Feels cheating to put them both in the same place, because on these files for the game, both of them are listed as 2 separate games. So I was iffy about putting them either differently or same. And I went, nah, screw it. Chapter 3 and 4 has been the best experience I've had this year in an RPG. Well, the second greatest experience in an RPG. There is a better. And like, it was a real fun. I fucking loved Chapter 3. I was going to play Lightner's Live, but there's kind of a spoiler on my run, so I cannot play it. For obvious reasons, so that's why we got the song from now on. And outside of that, this is all we got for Chapter 3 and 4 so far. I enjoyed the story. I fucking hate one character specifically. I want them to die. Don't remember who... Oh yeah, it's a fucking thing. And I have not beaten the secret boss of Chapter 3 yet. I gave up, went to Chapter 4, and beat that one instead. And I was not ugly crying. That was not this game. That was a different game. But it did make me have emotions, and I'm scared for what will happen in Chapter 5. Because you cannot expect me to go through Chapter 5 and go, I am normal about this. I cannot wait for that to happen. I believe I could chill because there wasn't much I put onto the page for this version. But anyway, after this, we got Sonic Cross Worlds, the new racing game by the Sonic team. Now, I was excited for this game as the video I posted about it, but my grievances with the game come from the fact that, as many people who know me personally, one of my most favorite Sonic game at the moment, well, all time, is Sonic Riders, the racing game where they were on boards, and I initially wasn't okay with the game. In fact, I was absolutely dog shit with the game, and I eventually played the game, got better at it, and went, oh, this is actually fun. Why the fuck do people not like this? This was 4-year-old me, by the way. This was 4-year-old me before the internet, before YouTube came in on its thing and everyone had their own shitty opinions. I then found out people didn't like this game for some reason, and I was like, why? It's good. And then years later, they got the announcement for Crossbows happened, and the reveal for the Rider shit happened. And I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna get back into this shit. I love the Rider shit. And the boards are a pale imitation of what they once were. Like, I'm okay with it. I don't like the fact that the one Riders map we got, the White Cave, is a boring imitation of what White Cave actually is. Considering that White Cave / Green Cave is my favorite map from Sonic Riders. I was excited to hear that it was in the game. I was then disappointed to find out it was one of the most boring maps in the game because it was a Crossworlds map. None of them are that interesting. None of them. So, to be honest, I was kind of miffed about that. I was like, okay, that's fine. How much of the soundtrack do we have? We have gotten 5 songs. And 2 of them were final laps. It's not been a great year to be a Riders fan, to be honest. Sega acknowledges for like 5 seconds, and I have a mild rant on the PowerPoint I made for this, of the Riders rant. Because Sega team put more thought into the aspect of Sonic 06, which people have said is the worst Sonic game, than the Riders representation in this game. So I kinda do and don't have a right to be miffed. Instead, I'm just sitting here going, I like the game, it is fun. I beat all the hard CPUs within 2 hours and then beat the rest of the game in 35. I have barely touched any of the other vehicles. That's mainly because I'm indifferent to... I love the boards, and I'm always going to play the boards. And I love how I'm not restricted to what I can play based on who I picked. I can finally play Vector on a board instead of being locked to a bike. Sonic Freeriders. That was a fucking disappointment when I played that game. But yeah. I love this game. This game is real cool. I'm trying to grind up to Legend rank if I can. Once I hit Legend, I'm going to stop. And after the whole Sonic Crossroads rant, we got Grounded, coming in at number 4. I recorded of me finishing this game, and to be honest, I fucking loved this game. This game, it is such a good game. I'm not normally one who sits back and just plays survival worlds. In fact, whenever I play survival games, I always love going back to the beginning because I always love being weak. But in this game, I did expect myself to actually sit down hours on end building the base I did to then finish the game and go, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. I was spending upwards from... At one point I said, I'll spend 30 minutes just to work on the base of the hill. And then suddenly I look outside my window and it's dark. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was not meant to spend this long on here. What's happening? It just became a problem at some point where I was just playing this game too much and I was having too much fun. And then there came the problem of I wanted to beat the game before Grounded 2 came out, which at the moment the game's kind of a disappointment, but that's for another time. Because Grounded 1 is an amazing game. I've been playing since the Pond update, which was the second major update. And I've been playing ever since. I used to be scared of the spiders. I turned on the arachnophobia mode and turned that off like 5 minutes later. And I've been playing it non-stop. I am currently working towards 100%ing the game. It is actually one of my favorite games so far. Which is hard to say because not a lot of games can sit into my favorite games. Considering not even I know what classifies as a favorite game for me. But this has hit my list of favorite games. I'm just biding time until the next one appears. Because the next game on this list is one that I have enjoyed since the start of the year. And we'll get to that eventually, but... Grounded 2. All the praise that I put into this game was in that video where I beat the ending. At some point I might just do a boss rush on remix mode of all of them and set that as a video at one point. But until then, have the nice video we have of me sitting there for basically 10 minutes just watching things die. And this one where I actually tried. I will go back and beat this one because this one cheated on me. It absolutely did. I did not prepare thoroughly for this fight. And I'm mad. I am mad at myself and I'm mad at the game for not making me think more. I honestly should have just like wrote down where some of this would have gone through, but we're here. Enjoy the nice music by it's the Even Last Sunrise soundtrack. And moving on from Grounded, we got Neon White. Now, on this list, Neon White was supposed to be the start of my year. Unfortunately, the start of my year began with Cheetahs Were Meant to Be Fast. That game was fun and like a nice hour to kill whilst I was raging at this game. Because this game, it sits on my platinum trophy list. I don't normally do that. I normally play a game, finish it and go, oh, that was fun. I played this game during one of the next fests where it just appeared. Me and a friend spent hours during that week beating each other's scores maybe by a frame. And oh my god, it was one of the best experiences ever. There's never been a game where we've both been on the same level playing field and just going through and beating it. Because normally they're better at something, I'm better at a different thing. It's a small thing, but Neon White being a platform shooter where we are both a level headed at both shooting and platforming to the point where this is a nice in between for us. I got this last year as a Christmas present and didn't play it until the 26th and beat the game within a few days. The rest of the game, however, that was the fun part because I 100%'d this, and doing the 100% meant you had to beat all of the hells in the game, which is a full level run of each levels in the game, and depending on which hell you choose. You have one life, and you have to beat it all with health carrying over to the next hit. the footage you're seeing here is from the hell mode, so that's why there's no resets whenever I fuck up, even a little. Because I haven't played this game in a while, and I was just sitting there going, oh, what the fuck do I do? But the challenge for this one is that you can't use the discard abilities, which is the main thing for everything in it. And number 2 on this list, we have the Versus Retrospecter Friday Night Funkin' mod. Which, this has been my favorite rhythm game so far. I have grown up on rhythm games, Osu being one of the biggest things in my life, from, as people can tell from my early career on this channel. But I fucking love rhythm games, and I'm disappointed a lot of time when I play rhythm games. As like, I was recently, a few years ago, I was given a Hi-Fi Rush when that released, and I was disappointed it was a beat step rhythm game, where you follow the beat in that game. And then many games following it do the same thing, and I'm like, I'm just numb to it all. And this released being a 100+ rhythm game with 100+ different songs. It remixes for most of those songs, as well as animated cutscenes for a lot of them. There was a lot of joy put into this thing, and it fucking shows. The footage you're seeing here is from the Phase 4 fight, from the story. And oh my fucking god, this was sitting at the top of my list when I played it. It has infected my playlists. Holy shit, this game's so fucking cool. I'm currently going through the arduous duty of actually beating the whole thing, which is fun. Don't get me wrong, it's fun. The songs that kicked my ass have no longer kicked my ass, and kicking my ass on the harder difficulty. But holy shit, this fucking game. It is a mix of both Friday Night Funkin' controls and doing what a lot of rhythm games don't do, and I wish a lot of them did, which is mod charting, where every now and then they'll have, like, as you see there, the hazard notes, where there are those that you're not meant to hit, you're supposed to skip them. In this song, you have the lock notes, where if you hit them, you have to tap your the note that's locked a couple times to break it. The Hydra notes, which cover the lane it's in, and the poison notes, which are the green ones. Those give off a tick that goes up per stack that you've hit them for. That is on the flame on the health bar. And there are songs in here with different hazard notes and different mechanics. And other than that, as you can see, the track is moving slightly. Sometimes it won't just move slightly, it'll just move fully to the left or right, or go up and down. And to be honest, that is fucking fun. Just changing up my view on going, oh shit, I fucked it up. Okay, move over there. And outside of that, there is this fucking scene which made me fall in love with it. Because most song is made by the YouTuber Retrospecter, who makes a lot of remixes. And when Friday Night Funkin' first came out, he wanted to make a game for it. He made part 1, made part 2, and I was following it. No, this is part 2. This is the full game. And I have been waiting 4 fucking years for this thing to release after the part 1.75 update. And they have spent their time making this game and putting all their hard work and love into this fucking thing. Holy shit. The first time I saw that scene happen, I paused the game. Not literally, but like, I paused, like, what? Died. I went, what the fuck just happened? And, holy shit, the songs in this fucking game. I have been listening to them non-stop. Every time I walk out, I put a different one on every time. It's so fucking cool. There's not enough praise in the world that I could give to this thing. It has reignited my passion for actively playing a rhythm game. Osu is cool and all, but there isn't something that will reignite as this thing did. The amount of time I spent into perfecting songs and actually getting to the end of some of them. Where it went from just the little 10 minutes I was putting into it to the full hour I put into one of them. I'm still trying on the hardest difficulty. But this scene is what cemented into something I liked. But the whole Silly Billy thing that happened, where that was a full thing. This game has 3 of those. There is so much of that in this game that makes it so fucking cool. At the second to last song of the story mode. Holy shit, that fucking map. I recommend you go play this. I will put the link for it in the description. And like, the description links to the Osu track I used. But this fucking game, I fucking loved it. But unfortunately, as people can tell, this is number 2 on my list. There was another game and on the list that beat this. However, for the longest time, this was sitting at the top of my list this year. This was number 1 because I couldn't stop giving this game praise. And this video lasted until I beat the song. I'm just extending time until it finishes because Catastrophe is one of the greatest songs from the soundtrack. That eventually I will try and like make more videos on this fucking game. I love it. I hope for more of the Infernal Dice setting this game is in, because the characters are also cool. I fucking love Atrocian. If I could, I would try anything to do things like Atrocian, but no. And then there's this. Anyway, it seems cheap to put it here, but the top of my list is a visual novel called Knights College 2. This game released 3 days before the cutoff point. The cutoff point being midnight at November 30th. And like, I fucking love this game. There were a lot of times when I was playing this game where I was just ugly crying whilst reading it. And fucking hell. The ending of this game. Words can't describe the amount that made me... I was sitting there for hours before the ending hit, just trying to figure everything out and just crying at a character's ending. I was like, no. If people complain at the price tag that the 2 games are at, but I'd say that the price that it is fair enough. Like, you're not paying for the game, you're paying for the experience of reading it, which, to be honest, at the moment, books are in a place where they're £10 minimum for something that's the same length as this, maybe longer. But I just like... Visual novels as a genre is a series sequence that I love. And this game, there's not enough praise I could give it. But yeah, this was my list of the top 10 games I played this year. It was a lot of me rambling about how some things were bad and some things were good and then missed timings. But you know what? Fuck it. I hope you all enjoyed this. Do take care, and at some point I will upload next year. I have been the Shouting Fox, and I will leave you all into the new year. Take care.